morning, everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. First to address the elephant in the room. Am I wearing blue highlighter, blue eyeshadow, black lips because it is close to Halloween? No. I like to do this no matter what the time of year. My inner goth princess grabbed a hold of me and said, "I want black and blue." So that's what I did. And I dig it. I really, truly do. I also did a couple of tricks that I'm going to try out again to see if they're going to make it into my favorite techniques this month. Okay, so the point of today's video is the point of my channel. The reason I decided to start making videos. That's because I don't hear these words coming out of the beauty community, and I understand. So let's get to the point. The beauty community is ran by the brands, and I think we need to do some consumer truths and think about our purchases before we create a culture that's not sustainable, which it really isn't right now, but we can be better. We can do better. Alright, so first truth I want to talk about is the value of money. Alright, money intrinsically has absolutely no value. It's not like gold. It's not like silver where you can make things out of it. Money is just used to purchase things. It is an agreement between the people who pass on the money, who give you the money, and you to take it for your work. It is an agreement between you and the people whose goods you purchase or whose services you purchase, that it is value for their work, or their work. So money by itself has no value whatsoever. It is how much work you put in to receive that good. Okay, so that's how I break it down, at least. Most of us make $10 to $15 an hour. I make, 10 to 20. I make $16 an hour. For a, we'll round it down and say 15. For a $60 product, I have to work 4 hours. That's half a day. I can pay my electric bill on half a day's payday, or another smaller bill. You have to look at it like that. You only work so many hours in a week, and you only have so much disposable income. So you have to figure out if it's truly worth the time that you put into it to purchase this item. So I really don't want you purchasing something that you regret buying, or that the impulse is there and then you want it, and then all of a sudden time passes and you don't want it anymore, or you get it and it's not exactly what you thought it would be. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't do for you what you thought it would. As Henley's Poston says it, you're chasing the endorphins. You're not really chasing. You're chasing the high of purchasing something. You're not really chasing that purchase or valuing that purchase. And I don't want us to do that. Not any of us. The second truth is brand loyalty and how brands do not care about us. Like straight up and down, no brand is going to value us more than they value their bottom line. Wet n Wild betrayed their consumer base by selling in China and still pretending to be cruelty free. I understand the Chinese laws have changed and that it is cruelty free unless they have a consumer complaint. And Wet n Wild said that they would pull their items before letting them be tested on animals. It's a gray area, but the fact that Wet n Wild hid it because they knew it would cause a stink in the cruelty-free community says how much they value their consumer base. Anastasia Beverly Hills. Now, according to Jen Love's reviews, this was back before the Riviera palette was or right around that time, before the Riviera palette was released, there was some talk about a ABH buyout, and that's all that was really in that report. I don't know exactly when. I will find it and link it down below. And she's got her sources, but that was just something that I took note of. And then ABH started releasing palettes like mad, and I'm like, oh, okay, so they're trying to increase their bottom line before their buyout. And the reason ABH is such a popular brand, and the reason that people buy ABH is because they don't release things like they don't do a lot of releases. Excuse me. I was gonna name some names as far as like who releases very, very quickly, but we all know who those brands are. Most of the other brands release a whole lot faster than ABH. And their consumer base went nuts because they are supposedly curated, and you know they think about the news trends. They don't just release things without considering where it goes in their collection. this was all their reputation. So, and then they started releasing palettes like mad, and everybody goes nuts. And everybody's like, well, I can't afford all of that stuff. I collect ABH. Well, ABH doesn't care if you can afford it or not. They know that if you collect ABH, then you're going to purchase it anyway. And they're releasing as much as they can to increase their bottom line. And they don't care about the long-term consequences of this action. Neither did Wet n Wild. ColourPop is another one of them that doesn't care about the long-term consequences of their action. The fast fashion model doesn't work. Most of the stores that use that model are going out of business or are in trouble, simply because there's such a thing as consumer fatigue. You release things and release things and release things and say, come buy this thing, until consumers don't want to venture into your stores. And there's also the simple fact that if you're producing a lot of stuff, chances are you're in a major manufacturing facility, and you're not the only one being released there. Maybe ColourPop is different. I know they got their labs in the United States, but Kylie is released through ColourPop, and maybe some private labeling is also being done at their facility. I wouldn't swear by it. I don't really support ColourPop. I think fast fashion is a wasteful, reckless way of manufacturing things. Don't get me wrong, I support, cheap brands. I don't believe in purchasing everything a company makes, and I don't believe that companies should release 15,000 collections. Especially not ColourPop releases a lot of repeats. I know a lot of other companies that do mega releases all the time. They repeat things. In fact, the entire beauty industry repeats a lot of their color palettes and switches out just a few shades and says, hey, this is a new thing. No, it's not. Which brings me to my third point. You've already got it. You're buying everything that a brand releases, or that everything that is new is not teaching brands to be discerning as far as what it's not teaching brands to be discerning as far as what they release and who their consumer base is, who they're chasing after. It's really easy to just release browns, golds, coppers, bronzes, pinks, purples, berries, and then blues and greens and yellows and oranges, slash when you go colorful. I don't know why reds are kind of left out of palettes now. You only get a couple of like maroon shades, and like I've not seen any crimson, at least not in a palette. I've seen them in singles. But and I understand that there's only so many colors in Color Wheel, and I will do a video on the Color Wheel and what makes the different colors. Like when something's grungy or pastel or whatever, what do they add to that color to make that, and how do we differentiate between the colors enough to get a better look on our eyes, a gradient, I guess you would say. Yeah, that video is going to be filmed soon. I'm going to be painting. But they do the same things. They all do the same things at the same time, which is stupid. They see the popularity of one thing, and then they're like, "Oh, we've got to do that thing." Like the grungy rainbows. Thank you, Hannah. The bright rainbows, the actual like primary, well, actually like colored hue rainbow. Like when a kid draws a rainbow, that's what you stick in a palette. That's a trend right now. I'm going to say that the monochromatic palettes are going to be a trend. I've seen lots and lots of brands release those, independent brands, and ColourPop's now started to do it, and Urban Decay's started to do it, so it's going to happen pretty quickly. At least that's my prediction in 2020. And I think even if you're Paris Hilton and you can afford to spend $15,000, $20,000 a day, every day for the rest of your life, and it's never going to hurt you, I don't think you need to purchase all the things, because it's not teaching you about what you like, or what you like. I'm not purchasing what they're selling. I'm just not. And I'm sick of pushing it and the products being pushed on me, which brings me to my fourth point, and probably my fourth and final point. You cannot let brands have all the power. You can't let brands control YouTube. You can't let brands control You. You can't let them control what you value, what you spend your money on. Because your money, in addition to being your work, your reward for your hard work, it's also your vote on how you want the world to be run, on where you want people to focus. You can buy from an independent makeup brand. The internet has now made that really easy to do. You can purchase from a large retailer. You can purchase from Amazon, and you can purchase from the dollar store or Walmart. Well, large retailer. I'm sorry. Sephora, Ulta, large makeup retailer. Sephora, Ulta, Sally's. Everybody forgets Sally's. And you can purchase from a mega corporation that makeup is one of their many, the many ways they make money. Or you can purchase from saleswomen. All of these have a direct impact on not only how the market, how that company is affected, but also the market. Because of the internet, Sephora might be in trouble because you can purchase directly from the manufacturer now. You can purchase all these other ways. Sephora doesn't have a monopoly, but it's not a monopoly, but it doesn't have as big a market share as it once did. And they have to realize that and adapt or they die. If you don't support Amazon, don't purchase from Amazon. Talk about why you don't purchase from Amazon. You support zero waste facilities. I love the idea of zero waste facilities because I'm in the manufacturing industry. I know exactly how much waste we produce. Individual consumers have absolutely nothing on industrial waste. And if we can reduce all of the stuff that we waste, we throw away in the manufacturing process, if we can reduce that and keep that from landfills, that's what we should be doing. Cruelty free. We are living in a world where chances are we are going to be cruelty free in my lifetime because of the efforts of individuals and the impact they make by not purchasing anything that's not cruelty free. You you put pressure on the brands when you don't buy their products. You push the brands in the direction that you want them to go. It may not take, it may not be immediate, it may take a while, but the pressure we put on brands to be better does make an impact. You can see it more quickly in independent small shops, but it's a momentum that once it starts, we can actually move the world if we really truly want to. So, those are my thoughts, and those are my truths as a consumer that I want you to keep in mind, because consumers have more power than everybody tells us we do, because you have just as much right to use your money as a different thing. And we are not investing in makeup. No matter how many times I hear that word, we are not investing in makeup. Makeup is never going to return on our investment like it does an influencer. It's never going to give us our money back. It may be worth it to us to purchase a thing, but it's never going to earn us any more money. So I want you to think about what your dollar is voting for, if it is worth the time that you put in it to own it. Whether you would purchase this thing if another brand released it, or are you looking at the product critically or not because it's released by a certain brand? And I want you to think about why you're interested in this thing. I just want you to think. I just want everybody to think. I want myself to think and question, because it's so easy. It is so easy just to give the power to somebody else, to give control of your money and your dollar to somebody else. But do you really want to? I don't think you do. Well, that is my thoughts. Thank you for tuning in, and if you like what I have to say, consider subscribing, and or if you have questions, comments, You want to tell me that you think I look like a clown?